Here are 8 tips and tricks for Deadly Omen in just under 4 minutes. By now you're probably aware that the ADS speed is being slowed across the board this season, but one tip to get it to be as fast as possible is to run the laser sight and iron sights on your weapon. The only problem is that iron sights suck on most of the guns, but there are a few where it might be worth it. These would include the MP7, the ARX, Zero's AR, the ACS-12, and probably a few others that I've forgotten to mention, but the main takeaway is that iron sights might actually be worth running this season. The attacking shield operators are gaining the ability to bash straight through full health barricades this season. As you can imagine, especially in Blitz's case, this is going to open the doors for some pretty aggressive rushes, but one way that you can counter this is by putting a Goyo canister on a barricade. Now, why is this better than just loading the door full of cap cans? A few reasons actually. One is that shields reduce the explosion damage taken from cap can traps, whereas they don't protect the operator from fire. And two is that shield operators taking damage from fire will now swing their shield out to the side in this season, giving opportunistic players a chance to get some shots on target. On the other side of the coin, we actually have a tip for the shield operators, and that is to run Thinker alongside your shields if you're expecting to get aggressive. This is because Thinker surges now clear your operators of the new suppressive fire debuff, which is activated by your opponent shooting at your shield, and when it's active will stop your character from sprinting. Therefore, if you can time this right, then you could actually clear your character of the suppressive debuff and then continue to rush at your enemy. This season, Callie is going to be an even better counter to his army, since her Kiba barriers are now going to be able to be destroyed with bullets, and Callie's sniper is actually one of the best weapons to do it with. Callie's sniper will destroy Kiba barriers in exactly 3 shots every time, which is one of the fastest ways to deal with them. LMGs are going to significantly slow down your character this season, and one of the operators most affected is Amaru, since she only has one full auto primary and also relies on speed to get the most from her gadget. But Amaru is actually able to sprint faster than she could before this season if you run the new horizontal grip on her SMG-11. You can of course also run the horizontal grip on her LMG, but she will still be slower than she was in the previous season, whereas running it on the secondary will allow her to get around much quicker. Sticking with the theme of attachments, you might be tempted to run the laser on every weapon imaginable this season, since now it gives you a faster ADS time, as well as the fact that on paper it has absolutely no downsides. But there are a few operators that you may want to consider skipping the laser on, mainly the more sneaky type like Cav, Vigil, and Nox. This is because the laser pointer can actually be seen by enemies as well, and so has the potential to give away your position earlier than you'd like. So if you're planning on being stealthy, either don't run the laser, or at least be very careful where you point it. The next tip is to not ban Lair. It's not really much of a tip, it's just I kind of want to play it, and I know it's going to get banned every game, and so I'm politely requesting that you don't ban it. As we've mentioned a couple times, the ADS time is much slower on all weapons this season. This is especially true when you run zoom optics, since they, unlike the iron sights and the one-time sights, will not grant you an ADS speed buff. However, there is one weapon which has an ACOG attached, which can still ADS miles faster than everything else, and that would be Kaid's and Nomad's 44 mag. Since it's a pistol, it can ADS way faster than all of the ARs, SMGs, and slug shotguns that can also have an ACOG equipped. So if you want a speedy ADS time, but also want some high magnification, then this is the weapon for you. I don't actually have any footage of this final tip since I'm recording this before the season goes live, and for some reason the feature was in the patch notes but not on the test server. But if you play in a dark environment and don't want to get IRL flashbanged whenever you do in game, then you might want to check your settings next season, since Ubi is adding the ability to customize both the visual and the sound effect that plays when you get flashed. Like I say, I unfortunately don't know what these options will look like since they're not on the TS, but if Ubi just forgot to add this feature, then don't come blaming me, because they said they would add it themselves. If you went on to enjoy this video, then please do subscribe and leave a like and share with your friends. It would really help me out. But that's it from me. I will catch you in the next one.